Hello, this is Yonmat Guram. Zeekr will officially launch domestically in 2026. The first model will likely be the electric SUV Zeekr 7X, a premium electric SUV that will directly compete with the Hyundai Ioniq 5 and Kia electric vehicle 6. It's finally coming to Korea. Let's quickly take a look at when Zeekr, the Chinese premium electric car brand, will be released and what kind of competitiveness it has. What type of brand is Zeekr? Zeekr is a premium electric vehicle brand under Geely Auto. I'm sure many of you have heard of Geely Auto by now, right? They own Volvo, which is well known in Korea as a subsidiary, and Polestar is also a subsidiary under Geely. Geely also holds a significant stake in Renault Korea. And in the Chinese market, they operate brands like Lynk & Co. They also run the premium luxury brand Zeekr, which is finally entering the Korean market after extensive preparation. There have been a lot of inquiries on the channel about when it will actually be released. That's the background for preparing this video. It's finally been more or less confirmed. The exhibition hall will open in the first quarter next year, with full-scale sales expected in the second quarter. It's late 2025, and in just over 10 days, it'll be 2026. So, we need solid evidence, not just rumors. To give you more concrete information, all domestic dealer contracts have been completed. Dealer contracts mean that preparations for the launch are almost finished. There are a total of 4 contracted dealers. First, there's KCC Mobility, then Ion Electric Vehicle H Mobility GK and ZK Mobility. There's a reason why these dealer contracts are so important. You need dealers to run showrooms, which also offer test drives and consultations. Sales contracts are also made, and most importantly, it's because after purchasing a vehicle, after-sales service is available. Since the contract with the dealership has been completed, it means we're now ready to get started. For domestic sales, once the Ministry of Environment certification is done, the launch is basically complete. Then, what would you say is the size class of Zeekr? Zeekr is a relatively new brand that launched in 2021. It's a premium electric vehicle brand that combines European design sensibilities. Last year, I visited Zeekr's headquarters, saw several models in person, and test drove most of their vehicles. You're probably most curious about what it's really like to see them yourself. In terms of luxury, it was on par with the Genesis brand. I was actually a bit surprised, especially from an emotional perspective. And honestly, I felt a bit of pride was hurt when it came to the convenience features that Korean cars do best. Should I say it exceeded my expectations? So, the moment I test drove Zeekr's vehicle, my prejudice against Chinese cars faded a bit. Then, how far has Zeekr risen among global car brands? Looking at the global sales in the first half of this year, Toyota sold 4.7 million units, Volkswagen sold 2.3 million units, Hyundai sold about 2 million units, and Kia sold 1.6 million units. So together, Hyundai and Kia reached about 3.6 million units, and Geely Auto Group sold about 1 million units. It's still about half of Hyundai's level, but if you look at the growth rate, it's rising much more steeply. At this rate, it's quite possible that next year they could reach Kia's sales volume. So, which model will Zeekr launch in Korea? The first model is likely to be the Zeekr 7X. Zeekr has a diverse lineup by segment, including the 001007009 and even a minivan. The 7X is a mid-size SUV. They're targeting this market first. It's the most competitive segment, but a gap remains domestically. Hyundai and Kia operate a variety of electric vehicles, but they don't have a mid-size electric car. Recently, the electric vehicle 5, a compact electric car, was released. People looking for an electric vehicle the size of the Santa Fe or Sorento want the space and feel of those models, even if electric cars generally have spacious interiors. The electric vehicle 5 seems a bit lacking to meet those expectations. So you could say there are almost no options for mid-size electric SUVs in Korea. Looking at the value of the Zeekr 7X, it's focused on family space. Of course, space is important, but the second row seats even offer a relaxation seat function. There's no other electric car of this size that offers features like this. And it comes equipped with air suspension, which completes the premium ride quality, at least in the Chinese model. This feature could also be available in Korea, right? Besides, for design, interior features, and driving, the only real drawback is it's a Chinese brand. Without the brand, there's nothing disappointing. So it seems that Zeekr's strategy is to target the Korean market, starting with this 7X. But when you look at the design, a lot of people say it reminds them of Audi. There's a reason for that. Stefan Silaf, Zeekr's head of design, is a designer who previously worked at Bentley and Audi. While other electric cars may feel Chinese, this one has a European vibe. It's competitive enough to stand up against domestic premium brands like Genesis. But it's not just about winning with design alone, right? The platform that determines driving performance is based on the Sustainable Experience Architecture platform, which is familiar from Volvo. Since Volvo has already built trust in terms of safety, it shouldn't be a problem to convey that trust to domestic consumers. The important battery in electric vehicles uses golden brick and Kirin batteries, and depending on the trim, both lithium iron phosphate and nickel cobalt manganese are applied in combination. Since many people haven't had a chance to drive it yet, let me briefly tell you about the driving feel. Rather than the typical jerkiness of electric vehicles, it has a smooth character like a luxury car. If you've driven a Genesis electric vehicle before, you can think of it as having a similar feel. With the addition of air suspension, you can get an even more luxurious feel. In luxury vehicles, steering responsiveness, high-speed cornering, and road feedback are important. This car feels more like German than Chinese cars in these aspects. That's why it's compared more to Genesis, a premium brand, than to mass-market brands like Hyundai or Kia. And when buying a new car, the role of the driver assistance system, advanced driver assistance systems, is really important. It's not an aggressive camera-based system like Tesla's. It's based on LiDAR, radar, and cameras. It's a system closer to Hyundai's. However, if there's a difference from Hyundai, it felt like it intervened a bit more actively. It also seems important whether LiDAR, which isn't offered in domestic vehicles, will actually be included in the domestic release model. The reason is that, depending on whether LiDAR is applied, it can measure more precisely, so I think we need to check this again when it's released in Korea. Finally, I still don't know the price. Many people are commenting expecting it to match the Build Your Dreams Celion 7. Since the brand and product quality are different, unfortunately, I think it's practically impossible for it to be released at that price. Domestic consumers especially value convenience features. Because of this, imported cars are almost always released with full options, so isn't it a bit difficult to expect the affordable prices you're hoping for? Soon, after Build Your Dreams, Zeekr is expected to launch in Korea in 2026. Please let us know in the comments what you think about how the Zeekr 7X will be received in Korea. If you want to automatically receive the next updates without waiting, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Thank you. If this helped you, please like it. Subscribe and turn on notifications to get accurate new car information quickly. Thank you.